Hello everyone, my name is Danny Prue. I'm the Service Portal Product Manager, and I'm going to give you a quick demo how the Service Portal can do provisioning, monitoring, troubleshooting, reporting on the network. So I typed in my username and password, and I'm going to log in. I already did my authentication, so knows my scope and span and what I can do in the network here. As you can see, I can create different types of circuits throughout the network, and I can also list my circuits. I'm going to go and create a circuit from endpoint A to endpoint B in Houston. And I would type in a name for that circuit. I would call it Houston Voice. You give it a name, and then you would type in you select the customer for it or the department. In this case here, I'm going to select this customer called AltaLink. Select that. And then the service contract would be the bandwidth. So in this case, I'm going to just pick 15 meg here, policy here. And then you have your endpoint A, endpoint B in the network. So when you do a selection, that's basically just a port. So you're going to list the routers you have a scope and span for. And I'm going to pick 30, and I pick 115 because that port is actually up. So I pick the port 115, and I'm done selecting endpoint A. And all I'm going to do now is give it a VLAN ID, and I want no pseudo switching within the network. And endpoint B is the other router, so the other router and port. So it goes lists, and I'll pick a different one here. I'll pick 444, and I'll pick 115 that's up on that router also. And I type in a VLAN ID. In this case, I'll put the same VLAN ID, and no pseudo switching. So I finish filling the form here, and when I hit the submit button, it basically creates the work order ID, and that goes into the work order database. So if we go look at that now, if it needs a pending approval, it will say pending for approval here. But in this case here, I had privilege to provision it. So it went straight to the network and it created a voice circuit on the network. Now you can go look at the work order, and basically it'll tell you that the work order is actually completed. It was done by who, at what time, and when was it approved and submitted to the network. And you see the service ID on it. And this is all the events that was performed on the network. It basically created, modified the port, and so on and so on. It created all the tunnels that you need in the network. So basically it creates everything end to end to create everything for you so you don't do any mistakes when it's provisioned. Now you can look at the work order, what the person entered, the operator entered into the work order form. You can see all this information. If for some reason the circuit got deleted, you can always do a duplicate here and recreate it by 2 clicks of the button. So you saw how easy it is to provision using the service portal, and it's all done using a work order workflow and a simple page under 5 steps. You can create a circuit across your network. Now let's go to monitoring. So we finish provisioning, we go to the service listing, and now you can monitor those services that are on the network. I'm going to go monitor my voice circuits, and I can see from that page here that some are red and some are green. But the one that I just created was the Houston Voice here at the bottom. You can see Houston Voice, and that one's actually up. You will click the view button, and then you're going to drill down into that circuit, and you can see that everything is good there. It's green, what's the bandwidth for that circuit. I can go look at individual endpoints, so endpoint A and endpoint B, and I can see they're actually up and up within the network. And facing outside, towards the camera, let's say, the cable is connected because it's green here and it's green on this side. I can go look at all the alarms related to that circuit across the network. And here I just have a couple in my lab here that have alarms on the routers itself. Now let's go to tests. I created a circuit between router 1 to router 2, but by a single click of a button here, it's going to go and create the OEM test on the 5620 SAM. The SAM is going to send that test to the router 1. Router 1 will ping router 2. Router 2 will send the results to router 1, and the result goes to the 5620 SAM, where the service portal just retrieved those results right now. It's actually completed, and we can even go look at the details if you want to know what it did. It created the OEM test, executed the test, and you can see there are no packet loss. So now I feel pretty confident that I provisioned the circuit, I've tested the circuit using this test, and I can even go see if the customer or the camera is sending any data on that circuit. So what you would do here is you would select a port, and on a given port you can troubleshoot, you can monitor it, you can execute CLI commands if you have privilege to do so. I'm going to go into troubleshoot, and I can see everything looks very good up, and there's no alarms on that circuit, so that's good on that port. I'm going to go monitor the port A, and I want to see if the camera is sending any packets to it. So I start monitoring, and it's fetching from the router. It's going to do a sample here, see if the camera is sending an image, and it is sending something on that circuit. Or if it be voice, you want to see if data is coming in from the customer on that circuit. I stopped the monitoring, so now I provisioned, I tested the circuit, and I saw that some data coming in from the devices. Now I can also go into reporting and generate reports on that on the network. So the service portal comes with a lot of reporting. For this case here, I'm just only going to show you one report, but basically you can put thresholds, color the report. When you hit the export button, it actually runs it in the database, generates the reports, and download a PDF to your laptop. And the report would be something like this here. Report show you data. It's a multiple page report. In this case here, it's an inventory report and shows you that data. Now you can also have a topology view. So if we go to the network and we want to see those routers on that I have privilege for on my domain, I can see the routers here. And if I go to map, it's actually going to map them, showing me where they're located within Texas. And we have some routers in Dallas. We have some in Houston, San Antonio, and Amarillo. If I go here in San Antonio and I put my cursor on it, I can see what type of router it is. If it's a group, it would be a group of routers. What you need to do is click on it, and it shows you all the routers in the group. Now I can go look at an individual router here, and I'll click view the details, and I would land into that page, show me all the ports and the lags that I associate in that router, which one are up and down. I can go back to my map, and then from here, same idea. If I click on a single router, I'll get a single view here. It's actually a SAR 8. Click view the details, and same idea here. Get network information on that. Let's go back. Now within the map, you can drill out, and as you can see, this is in United States. If I go here and I drill into a group and I want to go see exactly where those routers are located, maybe I have to drive it to Dallas and I want to know which street they're on. You keep drilling on the router until you get to the street name where you're going to find that router. So this map can be used on your iPad and all that, and that's very useful if you have to go on the field and go check the routers yourself. That's basically it. We did provisioning, we did monitoring, and we did troubleshooting and reporting, and we showed you the topology map. So thank you very much, everyone.